Hi there, my name is Doster, and today I'd like to talk about postmodernism. Basically, postmodernism is the realization that you have your perspective, I have my perspective, and there's no way really to reconcile that. So we may as well just accept that you have yours and I have mine and we can get along all right. Let's get together and feel all right. Now, from there, we have many pathologies, misunderstandings, and also we have very beautiful cultural flourishing, right? Postmodernism has brought us many beautiful things in our art, our music, our cinema, our culture at large, our cultural discussion, and all the rest of it. Most notably, recontextualization, right? An artist that understands postmodernism takes something and then puts it into another context, and suddenly, because it's in a different context, it means something totally different, right? Probably most famously and the most general ABC example of this is with Andy Warhol. He took a picture of a tin of baked beans, put it up on a canvas, put it in an art gallery, and then sold it for huge amounts of money. And all of a sudden, the most mundane, bland, plain thing, a tin of baked beans, is very much different, right? It's art. It's not a tin of baked beans, it's art. It's high art. So that's an example of recontextualization. We also see this in comedy, in cartoons that make fun of themselves, right? Any cartoon or advertisement or comedian or speaker or anyone who's making fun of themselves and actually pointing out the fact that they are a cartoon is postmodern. Now, there is a number of pathologies that come up with postmodernism, which is that there's this hidden thing in the background which goes unsaid and undiscovered, and if you're centered in the postmodern paradigm, it's near impossible to notice it. It's near impossible to see it. And this is that the idea of everything being subjective, everything being up to only your point of view, is only a point of view. Right? And you see immediately how small and how subtle and how tricky it is. Right? Because if I say, look, your opinion is just your opinion, and then you say to me, well, that's just your opinion, then you can easily go one step further and say, well, that's just your opinion, right? Did you ever have that thing when you were kids, when you would have a friend over when you were a kid, and your friend would be over and they would say, what do you want to do? And then they would say, I don't know. What do you want to do? And then they would say, I don't know. What are you, right? This sort of thing. It's the same sort of thing. Now, of course, I laugh about it and I have a joke about it because I understand it. It's clear to me. I know these metrics. I know these paradigms. I've been in and out of this and I've seen it again and again, right? So I can laugh about it. But for many people, it's not a laughing matter. A difference of perspective can be a matter of life and death. A difference of perspective can be the cause of the greatest injustice that exists within the human condition. A difference of perspective can bring about the most hurtful and traumatic experiences of human relationships. Right? So in many ways, it's not a laughing matter. and the truth that subjectivity needs to understand and embrace in order to resolve the pathology of postmodernism is that there is an objective world. Not everything is subjective. There is an objective world. There is a truth outside of yourself. There is a truth that is very real and tangible as the material world. Now, to reconcile these things and to hold this as a kind of paradox takes a bit of practice. It takes a bit of introspection. It takes a bit of understanding different paradigms. A number of ways in which you can do that is to learn the systems of psychology that account for these things, right? All of this stuff is not new information. This is well-trodden, well understood, very basic ABC psychology in many ways. And there are many systems of psychology that account for this. Now, it's important to understand this because your perspective is who you are. Your subjectivity, your present self-sense of immediate experience is all you have to work with. And in many ways, experience is king. Immediate experience is the absolute truth. Like so many of the mystics and spiritual visionaries have said again and again through the ages. So it's not that we do away with our subjectivity and live in a materialist, hard science paradigm. No, of course not. It is that we reconcile the paradox. We understand multiple perspectives. And that means understanding multiple subjectivities of the different peoples around us, and also understanding that that dynamic is in of itself its own perspective. And also we allow for the truth of scientific materialism and postmodernism and transcendent awareness, multidimensionality, and all the rest of it. Your place in the world, your perspective of life and what life is so precious and so important. And understanding is real. Understanding is possible. Loving openness and kindness from the heart is possible. Transcultural awareness is possible. Now, there's another step in this explanation that you can take if you're ready to really go into the definitions, the meanings, and the metrics of these paradigms. And that is to go ahead and enroll in my online course. Now, I know it seems a bit far out to say that. I hope that's not too sudden. But this really is something that's passionate towards me, passionate for me. Now, I've got over 12,000 students on Udemy, and I've got a course on developmental psychology, which you can preview for free. Follow the link in the description of this video. At the moment, I think the average rating is 4.85 stars out of 5. So it's very highly rated. So you can go ahead, click the link in the description of this video and enroll in this course. I look forward to seeing you there.